Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Mondays with Marian. I'm your host, Marian, and thank you so much for joining us this week. I put videos out every Monday, and I talk about everything from personal development, spirituality, leadership. I share some of my experiences, and I just learn from all of you as well. I'm so excited today because there's something that I really want to talk about, and it's about speaking your truth. And heard this a lot, and I really want to talk about this because it's so important. We are at a time, and inspired by Oprah's speech. She had a speech at the Golden Globes with the Time's Up, and it correlates with the Me Too movement. And for me, it resonates so much because I've had my share of going through that struggle of speaking my truth, before not speaking my truth, and then speaking my truth. And the kind of liberation and fear as well that I had from speaking my truth. If you are new to my channel or to my story, I came out over a year ago, a year and a half, after 21 years of silence and of suffering and of a lot of bad habits and things that I did to cover up for my past. I finally came out, and it's that I was sexually abused by my own father when I was a child. And that was a very hard thing for me to say and come out. For years I lived with shame and with guilt, and even though I thought it didn't affect me, it affected so much of my life. I lived such a double life. I did really well in school and at work, and I excelled, and yet on the inside I felt I was depressed, I was suicidal, I had PTSD, I coped with things by not talking about it, by abusing drugs and alcohol. I got into really toxic relationships with people, with myself, and it wasn't until I was really able to come to a place through my spiritual journey of acceptance, of owning my story and rewriting my story, that I was really able to speak my truth. And my truth is that, and same for all the other, victims, survivors, and for me, I call thrivers. I consider myself a thriver. That speaking our truth is part of the healing. Speaking our truth and standing up for what you believe in gives others permission to also step into their alignment. And I've gotten so many messages and so many texts and emails and calls from people who've read my story who were like, I can't believe you did that, because they had a similar story and they could not come out because it would ruin their family or it would ruin their name and people would look at them differently. And you know what? People will talk. I've lost some family members. People will think that, oh, that's such a taboo topic, don't talk about that. That's keep that swept under the rug, or why are you talking about this? People don't like to talk about things that make them uncomfortable. But you know what? The truth isn't always comfortable. Most of the time, the truth is actually very painful because it forces you to really dig deep inside and face a lot of your own monsters. But by going through that, by going through the pain and that fear, on the other side of it is so much freedom and liberation. I can't even begin to tell you how my life has transformed. It wasn't until I really turned to meditation and to looking inward for answers that I was able to find the courage to finally speak my truth. Because I started valuing myself. I started loving myself. And I started realizing that all these bad habits I was doing was not in alignment with my true and my highest self. And that I was not doing myself a favor by destroying my life. And I needed to make a change. And so by speaking my truth, I was able to let all that energy, like that heavy energy out. And it was the most cathartic release and experience of my life. I was able to let that out and have space to put peace and love and happiness into my life. Speaking your truth doesn't mean that you're going to make everyone happy. Speaking your truth means that whatever you feel in your soul and whoever you are may not vibe with people, even your family and people that you've known for years. But if it's who you are, I think you need to respect and love yourself enough and more than the opinion of other people. Because through this journey, I have been more vocal about my spirituality. I became a certified meditation teacher because I know how much meditation has helped me. And I've delved more into shamanic healing and to sound bath and to crystals and just these spiritual practices that open my third eye and deepen my intuition and my connection to the divine. And there's people that think it's woo-woo or it's crap or don't believe in that stuff. Some have even said that, oh, you're ruining your credibility, you're not thinking or doing things that are logically. It's all this like woo, like whatever it is, like woo-woo stuff. And I'm like, you know what? This is what makes me happy. This is in alignment with me. And if that doesn't vibe with you, that's totally fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I had certain family members that wish I didn't come out with my truth and tell the world about my abuse because it made them look bad, because I was shaming the family for airing out our dirty laundry. But I needed to do that for myself, and it was part of my own healing. And so I know that there's a lot of you there who may not be in the right circumstance to still speak the truth because, it's not safe, which I completely understand, or they're not comfortable yet, or you're not comfortable. I mean, it took me a long time to come to that. But what I do recommend is that you find the truth within yourself and you start really realizing what your own truth is. And you can do this through meditation, through breath work, through just whatever ways that you can connect to your whatever, if you believe in God or whatever being that you believe in. I believe in source energy in the universe, that there's a higher power. I believe in our highest self, our consciousness, our soul really speaks to us. So I recommend getting in touch with that and really figuring out, what is your truth? Who are you really? What excites you? What is your purpose? And speak and live that. Embody that. And you know what? People may not agree with it or they may not like it, but that's okay, because they're entitled to their own opinions. But as long as you know who you are and you're comfortable with that, that brings you peace. And your vibe will attract your tribe. And trust me, when you are in alignment with your highest self and speaking and living your truth of who you are, the right people will come into your lives. I guarantee it, because it's like a magnet. You'll be able to manifest those once you are able to really embody that. So that's it. I wish I could talk longer, but it's a short video. I started a podcast called the Thriver Lifestyle Podcast, and I'm able to talk about this more in length, and find it on iTunes. I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions about my journey speaking my truth and anything, if you have any questions about this topic or have any comments, please let me know. And I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I post a lot on Instagram. I post a lot of meditations. I have some free guided meditations coming up. So thank you so much. Bye.